Mallory Hartley, Dave Campbell's Texas Football alongside Matt Stepp, where we just concluded state championship week with the 6A Division II title game. The Austin Westlake Chaparrals defeat the Denton Guyer Wildcats 40-21 for a three-peat, their third straight championship. And I'm just going to start off by saying this. The score to this game certainly did not indicate how this game actually went.
How competitive it was. I mean, for Guyer comes into this game, and they're a huge underdog. I mean, we picked them to lose. All the computer polls had them losing by 24 to 28 points. I think I picked them to lose by 21. They came out with a chip on their shoulder, played really hard, and played well. Their defense was on fire in the first half, and for 3 quarters, this was a nip-and-tuck game. But that quality from Westlake on both sides of the ball kind of asserted itself in the fourth quarter. They go on a 20-0 run to close the game after being down 21-20 to put it away. And, I think it starts with the Westlake defensive line. Those guys up front, I think he sacked Jackson Arnold 10 times tonight. Just an unbelievable effort from the Westlake defensive line. And in the fourth quarter, Cade Klubnik, Jaden Greathouse got going and got rolling, and it was no stopping the Westlake train.
I think especially during the first half, their defense really kind of scared Westlake a little bit. They had to go into this first half and kind of make some adjustments, and I really think this is the most that this Westlake offense has been tested all season.
Yeah, I don't believe they trailed all year, and then they trailed for most of the first half and for good portions of the third quarter. This was, like I said, that just shows the quality of Westlake. They didn't panic, they didn't flinch, and they got pushed, they got tested a little bit, and they punched back and were able to pull away. So I think the adjustments made by the Westlake coaching staff in the second half were big, and I think they settled down. They turned the ball over a couple times in the first half, gave Guyer some short fields, and I think they settled down, held on to the football, and their quality kind of the cream rose to the top in this game in the fourth quarter, I felt like.
Absolutely. And really just a stellar performance by Westlake's offense, led by Cade Klubnik. He had 280 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns, and of course his receiver, Jaden Greathouse, who was offensive MVP, 3 touchdowns tonight. They played fantastic.
Yeah, and Jaden Greathouse is back for another year, so if you're a defensive back in the Austin area, you're going to have to deal with him for one more season. But Klubnik closes out his high school career. 2-year starter. He played a lot as a sophomore for a three-peat. He's a 5-star quarterback for a reason. He showed it. And but I thought the quarterback on the other side, I thought Jackson Arnold tonight was heroic. I think I used that word on Twitter, a heroic effort. He was beaten up, he was battered and bruised, but he kept coming back for more and leading his team. I thought he showed a lot of moxie and really showing the whole state how good of a quarterback he is. And for Guyer Wildcat fans, you got to be excited. He's coming back next year as well. And this Guyer team is going to be ready to go next year and should be a contender once again. And on the other side, Westlake, there'll be a little bit of a transition next year. Todd Dodge is retiring. We think defensive coordinator Tony Salazar is going to take over. That's the obvious choice to me. And then they lose a great senior class, that Coach Dodge wanted to see through their high school career. So now they're graduating, so they'll have to replace some good guys. But as we know, Austin Westlake usually just reloads. They'll be a contender again next year as well.
And you just mentioned it. We can't go through this whole instant reaction without mentioning Westlake's head coach, Todd Dodge. He is retiring this year. What a way to go out, though. 3 state champions. What a legacy he is leaving with this team.
He's got 7 state championships overall, 4 at Carroll, 3 at Westlake. Played in 2. He went to 9 state championship games as a head coach.
Wow.
7-2 record in state title games as a head coach. He's going to retire and probably go watch his son Riley coach a lot of games at South Lake Carroll and chase some grandkids around, and he deserves it. Coach Dodge has been great for Texas high school football. He's always been good to us at Dave Campbell's, and we're sad to see him go, but happy for him in retirement.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that concludes our state coverage. Once again, the Austin Westlake Chaparrals defeat the Denton Guyer Wildcats 40-21 to claim their 3rd straight title game. Now, if you missed any of these games and want an instant reaction or recap, you can find this all on TexasFootball.com.